fastest show in sports.
The University of North Carolina has made a tremendous amount of news here in the last several months, and all because of one man, Bill Belichick, and how he has changed, for better or worse, the North Carolina Tar Heels football program. But there is more to what is going on here than simply just Belichick. He is part of what's happening, but he is also part of a very troubling concept that is right now going on at North Carolina, because it would seem as if North Carolina is just one of many in the country right now who spend so much money on college football, they've got to find more money. And it's where they find that money that is troubling.
We've learned UNC football general manager Michael Lombardi visited Saudi Arabia on a fundraising trip before the Tar Heels season kicked off last month. The university's new vice chancellor for communications, Dean Stoyer, confirmed the trip to WRAL. Stoyer called it, quote, exploratory, and said it was at the invitation of the Saudi hosts and it was funded by them as well. Saudi Arabia has invested heavily in sports in our country already. However, if UNC did reach some sort of deal, WRAL sports investigative reporter Brian Murphy says there could be negative reactions to it.
This is a regime that is very oppressive in many ways. And so there's even become a term for it, sports washing, which is where they're using their money to buy influence in the world of sports in hopes of, doing PR, public relations work on behalf of the entire country. I think would certainly draw a lot of concern and certainly a lot of questions.
The soaring costs of college athletics has led many universities to explore non-traditional avenues for more revenue, including private equity.
This is troubling. Now let's try and separate for a moment the fans of North Carolina athletics, specifically football. We're not talking about doing anything that would be detrimental to the football program, and we understand that people out there just love your college football. But this is something that needs to be looked at and needs to be acted on. The government of Saudi Arabia has been taking part in the sports washing concept now for some time. In that, they go out and do wonderful things in sports and make sports fans love them for their money. Things like Live Golf. They've been part of international tennis, Formula One as well, and so many others. It gives them public relations. It gives them marketing. It gives them a way to say, hey, we're really a bunch of good guys out here, and we're going to go ahead and help your sport by investing in your sport. But that's just the facade here. The Saudis are one of the most abusive human rights countries in the world today. These are the people that imprison and kill journalists. They killed Adnan Khashoggi. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, go look it up. Because the Saudis killed him. They cut up his body into pieces because he was speaking against the Saudi government. They are horrendously repressive when it comes to women, people of different sexual connotations in their country. These are the people who will punish, who will kill, who will execute their own people simply for not following the government or not following a certain religion as they say it will be, as they say it should be. This is dangerous, people. Open your eyes. Look at what's happening here. The mere fact that Lombardi met with them and even considered the possibility of taking their money is abhorrent. It's dangerous. It's destructive. It basically puts blood on the hands if they were to take the money. Now, to be fair, they haven't taken any money yet, at least none that we know of. But if North Carolina were to accept this kind of money, that's blood money. There's blood on their hands. North Carolina would immediately have blood on their hands if they took their money. Live Golf certainly does. So does the Women's Tennis Association. So does Formula One. They have blood on their hands, the blood of innocence, the blood of men, women, children, journalists, people who would like to live normal lives in Saudi Arabia but are not allowed to because of the government. This is an issue where somebody has got to hammer down. And to be honest, I don't know who can. First of all, North Carolina needs to have a little wherewithal of their own, a little self-respect, and say, there is no way in hell that we would ever take money from the Saudis or any government that was looking to invest in us, and any government that has such rampant human rights violations. Why would we want to be associated with them? Why would we want them on our campus? Why would we want their money? Greed is the only reason why. Somebody at this level here in America has got to get involved here. Now, I don't know if the NCAA can even do it anymore. The NCAA is pretty much a toothless tiger when it comes to just about everything in college athletics. Well, certainly in college football and college basketball. But somebody's got to get a handle on this. Somebody has got to say that as a governing body of some sort, there is no way in hell you will take money from these people. We will vet every dime that walks in the door. And we will make sure that it doesn't bring this kind of ill repute to our member organizations. But see, that's Pollyanna-ish in my side. Because at the end of the day, if somebody were to say to an NCAA or somebody else, hey, we've got $10 billion that we are going to invest at a certain school, at a certain sport, would they turn it down? Doubtful. Nobody's turning down any money these days because the college athletics programs have done this to themselves. They have created this greedy black hole where there's so much money out there and the need for so much money. And now everybody's got to make more money and everybody's got to spend more money simply to compete in what used to be an amateur sport but is now nothing more than a minor league professional sport. They will take the money to be able to do it because they can't figure out a way to get it anywhere else. We've sucked the TV networks dry. The fans, we've asked them to pay through the nose, and they have. The sponsors are paying as much money as we ask. And the sponsors are basically saying that we need more in our return. Now we got to pay the players. Now we got to pay the coaches $8, $9, $10, $12, $13 million a year just to come in here and run an athletic program. It is insane where we have gone at this point. But there has to be some kind of legislation. There has to be some kind of stopping point. Let me pose this to the fan. Many of you will see this. Many of you will be angry at me simply for bringing it up. But I need to ask a simple question. If you are a fan of a college athletic program, maybe North Carolina, Penn State, Florida, UCLA, Washington, wherever. If you're a fan of, I don't want to go professional yet. Let me stay with college for just a second. If you're a fan and you're told that with an influx of this money, we can buy better players, we'll win that conference championship, we'll win more games, we'll contend for the national championship, we'll make sure that we're there in the conversation every single day, every single year, because we have an unlimited amount of money that we now have to draw from. If that's the case, if that money comes from a government like the Saudi Arabian government, one that whips women in public, one that executes people for their sexual beliefs, for the way they live their lives, one who kills journalists and didn't just kill him, but executed him, cut his body into pieces, and made sure it was never found again. Are you okay with that? Is that really okay? If you're told that this is what it's going to take to win a championship, you're going to have unlimited money, but you got to live with this. Are you okay with that? How can you be okay with that? But what about even the Saudi money is in the Women's Tennis Association? Are you happy about that? They're in Formula One. Hey, I get to watch another race. They're also in golf. I get to see my favorite golfers out on the course, and I get to see them win millions of dollars. Why in the name of sweet Jesus is that so important to you? Why can you not separate the two? Why can you not say, yes, I want my organization to be successful. I want to be a fan. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy victories, but I don't want to do it at the expense of somebody else's life. This is abhorrent, people. The mere fact that Michael Lombardi went to Saudi Arabia and even for the fraction of an instantaneous millisecond considered the possibility of taking Saudi Arabian money is abhorrent. It's evil. It's destructive. He could have done it just to see what it was. I mean, granted, the Saudis paid for it, but he's not the first one to go there. And with the unlimited amount of money that the Saudis have and other governments have like this, you know that there's other people, other organizations, other colleges that are going to be looking into tapping into that money because it's there and it's unlimited. But the mere fact to be associated with someone who would even think of being so gratuitously evil in getting money to win games based on human rights abuses, sexual abuses, is just I find myself just trying to make sense of it all. I honestly want to. I would love somebody. This is posted on YouTube. Get in the comments section. Get in there. Answer my question. Send an email to fastestshowinsports@gmail.com. Tell me why you're okay with this, or tell me why you're not. I hope to hear more of the latter than the former, that you're not happy with this, that you wouldn't want to do it, that you wouldn't accept it. But why? It's accepted right now, as I said, in Formula One, women's tennis, and in golf. It's accepted in so many other areas as well. Why should it be accepted in sports? How could you live with yourself? I mean, I couldn't live with myself. If I went to a game and my team was contending for the national championship, and I knew that a good amount of the money that was there came from a government that beats and whips its own people and that kills people for not believing in their way of government and their religion, I'd walk out. I couldn't live with that. So in essence of this, I asked North Carolina, how in the name of sweet Jesus can you live with it? Michael Lombardi, how can you live with it? How can you live with yourself? Bill Belichick, how can you live knowing that somebody you're associated with and you brought in and is now part of this is helping to bring in blood money to the program? How can you live with yourself? It's abhorrent. It's disgusting. It's despicable to even for 1 second consider Saudi Arabian money for a college athletic program, or for anything for that matter. Aren't we better than this? Shouldn't we be better than this? Goddamn right we should. We should be a lot better than this. And we shouldn't have let this kind of influence get involved in a country that supposedly speaks for the rights of everybody.
Ed Berliner, the fastest show in sports.